Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Coffee Lounge episode. I actually did not plan to make another one so soon, but I really had fun making the other one. So I'm super pumped, and I figured since I'm already at the coffee shop, this is Paris Baguette, and this is actually Paris Baguette in Ashburn, Virginia. This is the backside of it. Look at it, how nice it looks. Um, So since I have the microphone, hopefully even if I speak quietly, you guys can hear me. And this is like the real coffee lounge thing, right? And then since it's gonna be my dinner, so I did buy some hot dogs. And then one came with another free. So this is that. Otherwise, I would probably buy one. But anyway, so since it is a real coffee shop and coffee lounge talk, I thought this is gonna be fun. So even though I had actually other plans to do here, like do some study and research, but I just could not wait because I really loved making the first one. So today's verse is going to be Proverbs 16:3. Proverb 16:3, and you guys know that I talk about, so I read it out from the Holy Bible KJV, King James Version, because NLT is the one people prefer more, but NLT version has some copyright things, which is why I cannot use it. So that's why I read it here, and it's kind of fun to read those English too. And then also I have the web version written down here, web meaning the World English Bible. So that is copyright free, and the King James Version is copyright free. So let me read the King James Version. Commit thy works unto the Lord. That's easy. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established, and thy thoughts shall be established. It's all normal English, but it is so hard to understand. So in the World English Version, it's more about committing our action to the Lord, and our plans will succeed. That's what it means. So so in general, from my understanding, the way I look at things, my understanding is that, excuse me, we yeah, so since I'm learning, I'm not an expert, and so you guys can share your thoughts in the comments too. So we have our action that we need to do, and then after that we got to surrender. We got to surrender to God, and then our plans will succeed. That's what I understand, and that's what I also figured out from the, sorry, I gotta eat a little. See, that's the fun about doing it in a real coffee shop. So someday, if you guys join with me, you can. Oops, sorry, my phone was falling because my tripod was not secure. Sorry about that. The table is a little slippery, I think. Anyway, so the coffee, it's cappuccino, my favorite, a little sweet, creamy. By the way, cappuccino is actually fancy drink, but doesn't have much calories like all the other fancy drinks. So if you ever want to try it, it's lower calorie than the other macchiato and all of that stuff. A lot less calorie, a little bit more than regular coffee, but it is, for the taste, you won't even know that calorie is a lot less. And one is sweet, another is salty. Sorry, I got diverted. So the point is that we have to do our actions. It's not that we just sit at home and pray, and then God will bring everything to us, because we can't be lazy. We have to do our part, but at the same time, we got to trust in God enough that it feels like it's a surrender, meaning we are not trying to control the outcome, right? And that's where it gets challenging. We want to control the outcome, and a lot of time remembering, because I had some things going on, and I think I read something and somehow I remembered that a lot of time we have to think about the long term, right? And that is one of the big thing also when you try to surrender. One of the key thing, at least that worked for me and that could work for you hopefully, is that when you have hard time surrendering, think about that in the longer term it will work out. It will work out. A friend once said that if something is not going to matter in 5 years, don't worry about thinking about it more than 5 minutes. So I'm going to repeat that. If something is not going to matter in 5 years, don't spend more than 5 minutes thinking about it. And excuse me, there are so many people who have said these things, right, in many different ways. And I think that was not his original saying, because I heard it from him first, but later I saw it somewhere else. But the point is that if something is not going to matter in the longer term, 5 years, 10 years, don't worry too much about it, because normally we start worrying because in our mind we are just thinking about a week from now, a month from now, or even just a year from now, right? Life is short. We got to live, and we got to do our things, right? Whatever is right, we got to do it. And sometime we won't be right, and then we have to make sure that we are focusing on progress, not on perfection, right? So that's what is very, very important. When we tend to focus on perfection, that's another way life gets into that controlling zone, which is what we have to remember, that progress is what we need to focus on, right? Progress with us and progress around our surroundings, because we have to live with our surroundings. Even though we work on ourselves, every day there will be things thrown at us, either it's politics, the news, the weather. Every day there will be things that will be thrown at us. But when we surrender and focus on the long-term outcome, not just the short-term, then we can surrender, we can let go, and we can wait for the best outcome in life. I will tell you, and with this I'll finish the verse. Today's will be shorter. So I remember when my journey was very unknown, even last year at this time, and I had an interview, and I really, really, really wanted the job. And I thought that, that'll be my life, and that'll be a perfect job for my daughter Alice. I'll have enough time, whatnot. And interestingly enough, even though my interviews went really, really good, I did not get the job. And right away I was sad, but a friend kept reminding, trust on God's plan. Everything will align. At the time, it was hard for me to trust that. But after a few months, and that wasn't like, I know I had this September, October 2024 is when I had the interviews. And then I found out in October, November timeframe that it didn't work out. And I saw that I was already making so many changes, good changes in people's life through coaching, through YouTube and other things. And I was like, I loved it so much. And January 2025 is, I'm like, oh my God, I love this so much. I want to do this full time. And that's the thing. Sometimes, even though surrendering is hard, just thinking that we do our actions and then rest we leave it to God, and then the good happens. And then it's the long term, right? I didn't see it in a few days or a month, or but after several months I saw that this was what was meant for me. And now I'm like the happiest doing what I'm doing. This is like after 21 years of corporate life and doing this full time, and I cannot be like more fulfilled than this, like as far as work goes. I mean, I can be more fulfilled by making more difference in people's life, but this has been amazing. So that's what, like, and sometimes when things don't really go our way, it's hard to think that, oh, everything is aligning. But we've got to remember that God has a bigger plan. When some things are not working out, that means God is preparing us. And I literally felt it in my own life, that when things didn't go in a certain way, I saw that it was actually changing me. It was changing me, the situation, and how other people are acting, reacting around me. That was helping me to be more patient. That was helping me to learn the deeper truth about myself. Because when we learn more about ourselves, only then we can do better and get to the next level, right? our growth doesn't stop at one level. We can always, keep growing, keep learning. So with this, I'm going to finish this one, and I'm like so excited for this. And please do share your own thought and how this verse, again, this is Proverb 16 3, Proverbs 16:3. If this surrendering to God helped you in certain way, or your friends, and how that story inspired you from other people's point of view also, maybe. So I'm so eager to learn your stories too, not just sharing my own. And also, like I say, it's not about perfection, it's about learning. This whole Bible verse series I started because I want to deepen my faith, and hopefully along the journey I'll be able to help you deepen your own faith. Doesn't matter if you're Christian, Hindu, or any other religion you're part of, because when you have more faith in that something bigger than yourself, the universe, God, your faith in yourself, your belief in yourself, what you can do, grows. Like, you become this fearless person. I mean, it's I can't explain it in words, and it can only be felt. Not only that, the peace, your surroundings, you could have a lot of challenges going on, but things will happen. And what I used to say last year in the daily videos is that things will always happen, that you have this high frequency zone and low frequency zone, either news or weather, whatever, something will happen that will get you to drop here. And then you can have your go-to formula, which I teach in with my framework. That's a different one, I uncovered here. The point is how quickly you can get from here to here, right? Because every day things could happen that will bring you down. Excuse me. And as you keep practicing, small things want to drop you here because you already know how to handle them. But as you go, as you keep doing that, you will spend a lot less time here, you will spend more time here, and then there is no ceiling. This can go, the next would be your lowest frequency would be here, and the highest frequency would be here, and it can go up and up and up. There is no limit. And that is the amazing thing that I myself also am learning as I'm on this journey. And the whole process, the exciting part is who you will become in this journey. I can't tell you guys, if you see my videos in the early days, even last year this time, like I'm saying, August, September of 2024 to now, I couldn't imagine in my wildest dream that this is what I would be doing. That also excites me to think how next year, August, September of 2026 would look like, right? So that is what becomes exciting, because that's what you want it to be. I made one video, I think it was around Christmas or something. I would say, like, I was saying that every day is a gift, like a Christmas gift wrapped under the tree for you to open. Literally, if you look at it that way, every day is a gift wrapped under the Christmas tree for you to, unwrap it. Because we can make our day good or bad by focusing on what we want to focus on. Yes, there are hard days. Some days could be very challenging with job and health and whatnot. But majority of our days, we can choose. We literally can make the decision every morning that today, I will make sure that it's a good day, right? So when you have a good day, people around also will have a good day. So anyway, with that, I'm going to finish today's coffee lounge Bible verse episode. And if you guys like this for me to do in a coffee shop, please let me know in the comments. Some days I'll probably do it at home, some days in the coffee shops, but if these are more interesting, let me know, so then I'll tend to do more in the coffee shops. Take care. Bye.